Let me set the scene for you. I wake up at 2 in the morning, unable to sleep, so I decide to watch some YouTube videos about NASCAR. One of these being a reaction by a great guy called the Norseman. He was new to NASCAR and he said something that caught my attention. He said, "I keep hearing this Keselowski guy's name. He must be one of the best drivers." I thought about this and a question popped into my head. Just how good is Brad Keselowski? And is he a Hall of Fame level driver? It might seem like a pretty surface level deal, but I think he's one of the best drivers currently in the Cup Series and of all time, despite having an only 11-year-long Cup career. To start, Brad was born into lower series royalty. His father, Bob, was an ARCA prince in the late 80s and early 90s. Between 1987 and 1993, he was in the top 3 in the points every year, including a championship in 1989. Keep in mind, this is back when ARCA housed a boatload of talented drivers, one of which was a young Ernie Irvan who went on to win the 1990 Daytona 500. After 1993, Bob switched his attention to the world of NASCAR, which yielded a mixed bag of results. 1 win, 15 top 10s is certainly not bad. Even better when you realize he was doing this in his own equipment. You'd think with his ARCA success and his Truck Series success, in his own equipment at least, he would be picked up by a team, but no. This never happened. By the end of the 1999 season, he called quits on his career. Before all of his ARCA success, Bob and Kay Keselowski would have 2 kids, Brian and Brad. One would go on to forge his own career, while the other would supply quite possibly the worst racing take ever.
What facts, dumbass? I play Madden, but it doesn't make me a coach or football player. You idiots think you are on the same level as real racers, and it's a mental disorder. No different than kids shooting your schools because they play shooting games. You people need help. Glass houses, Brian. What? What?
In 2004, lots of good and bad things happened. Bad in the form of my birth, and good in the form of Brad Keselowski making his debut in the Craftsman Truck Series for his dad's team, which at this point were field fillers and rarely contended for top 20s, but with Keselowski at the wheel, they managed to squeeze into the top 20 from time to time. He would bounce around from team to team until 2006, where he made his Xfinity debut for Keith Coleman Racing, which sounds like a kick-ass name for a country artist. Now, to perform our national anthem, please welcome 2-time CMA Most Talented Artist, Keith Coleman! Then he sings the national anthem, the F-18s fly over, and I think I'm getting off track. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So Keselowski ran with Keith Coleman Racing before he got his big break when Junior Motorsports signed him for a 3-race deal, which then turned into a rest of the season deal. Keselowski and Dale Jr. talked about the deal and how it came together and other behind-the-scenes stuff on the Dale Jr. download, which will be in the description. Keselowski was given 2 full seasons to flex his muscles in the car, and my god, he did. If it wasn't for the fact that full-time Cup drivers could race for an Xfinity championship back then, which was fucking stupid by the way, Keselowski would have 2 championships. He didn't deserve 2010, but he fucking earned 2008 and 2009. In 2008, he would make his Cup Series debut with Hendrick Motorsports driving the number 25 car for a few races that year. In his first few Cup Series starts, he was kinda shit, but he was a rookie. You can expect some growing pains when trying to go up to the top series. He failed to qualify for the Fall Charlotte race. He finished 19th in the Texas race that year, and finished 23rd in the finale at Homestead. While 2008 wasn't very good, 2009 looked to be a lot different. Still full-time Xfinity and still running the Hendrick Motorsports number 25 car, he would also make some starts for Penske Racing and Phoenix Racing. Now, between Rick Hendrick and Roger Penske, both who are widely renowned as some of the greatest car owners in racing history, let alone NASCAR history, you'd think that he'd get his first win there, but you'd be wrong. Win number 1 for Brad Keselowski came at the Aaron's 499 at Talladega Superspeedway, driving for James Hinch and Phoenix Racing, who had been in NASCAR for decades up to this point without a single win. It was a really nice moment. It was a really wholesome moment. James Finch was one of the most down-to-earth car owners in the whole of NASCAR, going through years of financial struggles, losing drivers, and much more. It was a very happy sight to see him and his team win, especially having a new winner win as well. It was a really nice moment. Dale Jr. was there to see it. Ryan Newman wished he couldn't see it because he got a face full of Carl Edwards' car flying towards him, but that's besides the point. While Brad Keselowski seemed on top of the world, there'd be trouble in paradise. The goal for Rick Hendrick was to put Brad Keselowski in the car after Mark Martin retired from full-time competition after the 2009 season. But with the fact that Mark Martin went on to win 3 races and nearly win the title that year, that wasn't going to happen, was it? So he got dumped by Rick Hendrick and had to seek shelter, and that shelter came in the form of Penske. 2010 would see his full-time Cup Series debut for the number 12 Penske team. At this point, Penske was at a rough spot. They brought in a Cup rookie for the first time in years. Kurt Busch was a rambunctious tornado of aggression, which was far different from the young, calm Keselowski. This would force Penske's hand, and by the end of the 2011 season, Kurt Busch was gone from the team. After just his rookie season, Brad would have to take the reins of the iconic number 2 car in 2011. But would Keselowski struggle? Well, he would. It would take Keselowski until the middle of 2011 to get another Cup win, this time at Kansas. This would light a fire under him as he would get 2 more wins by the end of the year, making this his breakout season, but the best was yet to come. 2012 would have to be considered one of the most chaotic seasons in recent NASCAR history. Action, drama, and just pure unadulterated chaos. A great championship battle would arise and the chase grid would be one of the strongest ever. As of 2021, the Chase 12 from 2012 account for 18 championships and 500 wins, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. Keselowski had a rough start to the year. He finished 32nd in the Daytona 500 after a late race crash, but rebounded to finish 5th at the first Phoenix race. He then finished 32nd again at Las Vegas. Race number 4, Bristol, saw BK get his first win of the year. Although he won, he was still 14th in the points. With the points format at the time, 10th or better was the goal. 4 races in, and he and the 2 team weren't really showing championship prowess. So would the 2 team recover? Well, they would follow this win up with an 18th, 9th, 36th, 11th, and 9th. He would then win at Talladega, which would thankfully put him above the points threshold. Rounding out the regular season with 14 top 15 finishes, 9 top 10s, 5 top 5s, and another win at Kentucky. Entering the chase, Brad would be in a 3-way tie for second with Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart. Starting out the chase, he won out of the gate at Chicagoland, finished 6th at New Hampshire, then won at Dover, and a 7th at Talladega. Charlotte would see him finish 11th, followed up with an 8th place finish at Kansas and P6 at Martinsville. At this point, the points battle seemed pretty clear. Newcomers Brad Keselowski and Clint Bowyer versus 5-time champion at the time, Jimmy Johnson. Texas, 3 races to go. Jimmy Johnson wins, Keselowski in 2nd and Clint Bowyer in 6th. The next race was Phoenix. Late in the race, Clint Bowyer and Jeff Gordon were racing late when the 2 made contact. After this donkey shit season Jeff Gordon had up to this point, seeing a good result slip away pissed him off. So he was going to make Clint Bowyer pay.
Turning Clint Bowyer into the wall, collecting Joey Logano. Caution flag is out.
Keselowski would miss the wreck by a matter of feet, but nevertheless this would have an impact. Well, figuratively and literally. Clint Bowyer would see his only shot at the Cup slip through his fingers, and what would ensue is one of the most chaotic scenes in NASCAR history. All you gotta do is slap some Scooby-Doo chase music on that and you have a slice of gold. Nevertheless, the final battle was set for the War of 2012. Jimmy Johnson in his 10th full-time season versus Keselowski in only his 3rd. And he did it. A pit crew fuck-up from the 48 sealed Brad Keselowski's first and so far only title. He had to fight with a 5-time champion with a race to go, and he prevailed. Rounding out a great season with a year-end championship, he celebrates in the only way how, by getting pissed drunk on live television.
Thinking about how happy
You're not
you must
having
be.
as good a time as I am, Dave.